Now, as most of you know, the show is lighthearted and usually stays away from serious issues. While this episode will be no exception, I'd find it a crime if I completed my episode on this flick without mentioning some of the pain involved in the process of making this masterpiece. Richard Donner's 1976 film The Omen may be one of the most impactful movies in American culture. The film focuses around its main character, Robert Thorne, portrayed by actor Gregory Peck. In the beginning of The Omen, Robert and his wife lose a baby during childbirth. His wife was unbeknownst to the death of their child after delivering the baby due to her post-labor state. After that, we're greeted with a scene that takes place with the priest, and he recommends to Mr. Thorne that he should, for a lack of better terms, swap out the child with the baby who was also born that evening but lost his mother during birth. Thorne takes the priest offer and raises the boy with his wife for years in what seems to be pure bliss. The bliss becomes a nightmare when their boy's demeanor becomes beyond capricious. Soon, strange events and deaths start happening all around the family with lingering suspicion that always points to their sweet boy Damien. Robert eventually finds out that Damien is the actual Antichrist and is forced to kill the boy. I can't express enough how deeply this movie touched largely religious public in '76. The devil taking over your child was a real fear, and The Omen delivered an actual possibility for scared mothers whose worst fear was losing their baby to Satan. Regardless of the controversy, the film managed to gross over $60 million at the box office, well superseding their $3 million budget. Now, in my personal opinion, what made this movie so real was unfortunately pain. The movie's lead actor, Gregory Peck, lost his real-life son, Jonathan, to suicide just weeks before filming this movie. For the life of me, I couldn't imagine having the temerity to make a movie about killing my son just weeks after my real son died. But he did. Those close to Peck urged him to fall into his career and try to work after losing his son, and without a doubt, Peck delivered and gave one of the best acting performances I've ever seen in a movie. And it still baffles me. I lost my own father to suicide, and I remember the pain involved. It has to have been just an iota of what he felt. Myself, I'm a father of 3, a father who gets nervous when his kids are on a trampoline, or too close to the water, or leave the house without a jacket. Couldn't imagine what Gregory went through. You can see the pain in his performance, and The Omen would have never worked without it, in my opinion. I don't want to focus the whole episode on a sad note, but we couldn't discuss the movie without talking about this. It just felt wrong. So we're leaving all our feelings at the door, and it's time for us to hop right in on our take of The Omen.
Hello, I'm Gregory Peck, and this is a Sloppy Horror Podcast. Boom.
What's up, boys and girls? It's Christian Ramey. I am not Gregory Peck, and this is the Sloppy Horror Podcast. I'm here with the best producer in the world, Ozark Mark. What's going on?
Now hear me. Is this the Sloppy Horror Podcast?
I've given you 5 minutes.
And you've got 5 minutes.
If you guys know what we're talking about today, obviously, because you clicked the damn button.
Talking about Gregory Peck, bitch.
Yep. In The Omen. Alrighty? The Omen. So, unless this episode just came on after another episode, you clicked on this on purpose, so you know what we're talking about. This movie is one of the best movies in the horror genre. It is a pillar. It really is, okay?
Well, if you're going to talk about pillar, because you said, you want to talk about the pillars of horror.
I do.
This season, correct?
I do, Mark.
Well, this Omen picture is one of the most solid pillars. Like, this motherfucker you ain't breaking this pillar down.
Nobody.
This pillar is going to be around, like, the Colosseum in Rome, how some of that shit's still there. This is the pillar of a horror. It's going to be there for, like, fucking ever.
It will be there forever, Mark.
And you know why do you think that is? Let me see. Probably because it's based on the, like George Carlin said, America's favorite theatrical prop, the Bible.
Yes.
Angels and Demons is like the biggest, longest-lasting tale there ever was in humankind.
Yeah, it's
right?
That's gonna freak people out all the time, especially in 1976. And another great part about this is it's an actual film.
So you talk like Rosemary's Baby, The Exorcist, The Shining. The reason some of these older films did well, when horror turned a corner, we'll say, obviously the beginning of time, then you had your Hammer flicks that were going on in the 50s, 60s, your Vincent Price style, Christopher Lee, Dracula, that kind of stuff. Then we talk about how you get into the 60s movies, and that's when directors, even musicians, like musical artists, didn't have to sing what was written for them anymore. Movie directors didn't have to follow the script that was handed to them. They were able to make their own thing. And some directors took a big shot in making horror, and it wasn't always the normal. So when you had Roman Polanski come with Rosemary's Baby, he was a respected director pretense of that, and this movie was a movie. It wasn't like, come see this horror picture. Everybody's scared. There's blood on the walls. Not at all. It was
a movie.
Yeah, like your mom would like it. Like it's got actors. It has a storyline. It's not over the top. And The Omen, it wasn't the first. Rosemary's Baby came out before it, but it definitely follows that kind of movie where it's serious. It's a serious movie.
It is.
And you talk about casting, brother. We have Gregory Peck in the lead role.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love Gregory Peck.
It's Mr.
Mainly
Thorne.
because of his voice. Because I love his voice. It has, he has the ideal voice of a grandpa. Like a man's man grandpa.
Oh, yeah. If your grandma, every grandma would blow Gregory Peck when he was alive.
There's hair on these knuckles, pal.
Well, I will show you. You see my knuckles?
Yes.
I've hair on them.
I want that grandpa swag. Everybody respected him.
Oh,
he
yeah.
He got a big claim to fame and To Kill a Mockingbird. He was Atticus Finch.
He could probably get your grandma's pussy wet again.
Oh, dude, what do you think my grandma's doing right now, dude? My grandma's, flicking her bean, looking at Gregory Peck pictures, because they didn't really have videos back then, so she's going off pictures. But, I'm not mad at her. I hope at that age I'm getting freaky. I'm getting down.
Mm-hmm.
And life's short, man. You got to be banging.
Well, of course you got to be banging.
Even when you're old, who cares what it smells like? Just keep going. Let's get it weird.
Who cares what it smells like?
You're old. Who cares? You're with your life partner. You've been together forever. You smelled all kinds of smells, So you bear through it, and you help that person have a happy life.
Sure.
When your wife is old and 90, and she wants to bang, and you're 90, you're going to bang her, dude.
Of course.
Yeah, that's your job.
Absolutely.
You don't want to be cruel and make her feel unattractive when she's 90.
No.
You got to make her feel like a hot 90-year-old.
I hope by that age I talk like Gregory Peck.
Oh, you will. You will. Just start doing it.
Baby. Take off your panties.
He said in this movie, he went,
I think you may be too sexy for the White House.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
oh, she was drip. She was
She was speechless.
She threw the booty back in a thunderclap as soon as they
man.
were off scene. Even probably the actor and actress. I know it too. Obviously, I've spun kind of a positive light, and I didn't mean to make it seem like such a sad intro, but really, man, that's incredible that Gregory's son died of suicide. Now, Gregory's son was old. He was not older, I think 20s, maybe 30s, but he killed himself, and then shortly before the filming of this, and then you're making a movie about your son that you have to fucking kill. That's pretty deep, man. That's pretty deep.
It could be another reason why he had a top-notch performance and it was so believable.
You know what, Ozark Mark? I think you're onto something.
Oh, I'm onto something, all right. I'm always onto something. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here and you're there.
So for the little viewers out there or listeners, if you haven't seen The Omen, what are you doing? But if you haven't, pretty simple tale. Gregory Peck, he's a politician in this movie. He's he could be, there's many references that he could be president at one point. He becomes the U.S. ambassador of Britain, over there. I don't know exactly his job title, but he's a big politic guy. He's big into politics. The movie opens up while they're having a baby, right? They're at the hospital, and then the doctor comes up to Gregory Peck without his wife and says, the baby died. And so he's talking to a priest, and the priest says, look, we have this other boy, the mother died during birth. You could just look at it like a blessing. We'll give you this baby. So, like, unbeknownst to his wife, he brings that baby in. Obviously, once she wakes up from birthing her baby, like, because she was out of it, and she gets this swapped kid. This kid by the name of Damien. They named it Damien. And this kid is actually the Antichrist, the son of the devil. And everything starts to go awry.
Well, not at first, though.
No.
Because if you let's say somebody walks into a room while you're watching like the beginning part of this, it looks like a fucking romantic film. Like it's all happy music and they're all in love and they're all happy. Life is great.
Yes,
I'm sitting here watching. I'm like, I forgot it was a horror movie for a second.
Mm-hmm. You're very correct.
But they do a good job though, because after they get past all the happy-go-lucky stuff, they go right into it.
They do, man.
You know what I'm talking about? Probably one of the most iconic scenes in horror as a suicide.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you that this scene haunted people. Haunted them.
This most definitely haunted people.
It's a very eerie scene. Now, what scene I'm talking about is when they're at Damien. I guess it's like Damien's birthday or something.
It is Damien's birthday.
Okay.
There's been like no horror. The only thing that's kind of creepy is the fact that they swapped the kid. But like Mark said, it goes into this romantic family montage, and there is no lead to that this is going to happen.
There's no. It's just.
Oh.
It's a quick. You're at the top of the roller coaster and you fall. Okay, you are done. So. What I'm talking about is you've probably seen it in the previews, even if you've never seen this. It's one of the most probably thought of, because I guarantee you this, also Christian Ramey. This came out in what year? 1970?
76.
76, okay. So how many years ago was that? It's 2021 now.
So it's
very
like
not good at
45
math.
years or some shit?
Is it 40?
That's bad math. 45 years?
Is it 45 years?
Yeah, it's 2021, 76.
Okay,
yes.
because I'm not going to double check this. Okay.
Yes, 41.
I had to take remedial math in college, like back to where they learned the number line. I was that dumb at math. But anyway, so 46 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
No. Will you just get a calculator?
No, 5. I'm sorry, 45.
45 years ago.
45 years.
So 45 years ago is when this movie came out. So if you ask anybody who was alive during when this movie came out.
You know who was alive?
Who was alive? Yes.
Yeah, your mom.
Right. I guarantee you I could go up. I could go up and ask her, hey, do you remember when the first time you saw The Omen? Everybody knows this. And it fucked with a lot of people. Think about this. This is how I look at it. People who are religious, it automatically fucks with them.
Yeah, in 1976, that was everyone.
Yeah. Now, let's say, there are some non-religious people. Okay, how's it going to fuck with them? And I started thinking about this stuff because this hits fear on so many levels. You have the Antichrist, which is like one of the scariest things ever coming to life here. Then you also have, what if you are not religious, but your baby that you have ends up being the Antichrist?
I think if you're not religious, it almost can be scarier too in a way if you overanalyze it, because you could really say if you're like somebody who's not religious, but you're not like all the way sewed up in your faith, you're just kind of like, or like lack of faith, you're just, open to whatever, but you just currently don't believe in anything. And you like watch some like exorcism of Emily Rose or The Exorcist and you're like, dog, I don't know, maybe there is some shit, so I mean, even myself, I'm a man of faith. I'm not some like crazy Bible thumper knocking on your door, but in the same light, I am a man of faith. So even without it, I feel like it has an element. But with it, obviously, the obvious, people are afraid of the devil. But I wonder how many people have watched movies like this that didn't have faith, but they watch it like, I don't know what I would do, dog, because I'm not religious. So like if I saw some demon shit, dude, I don't know how I would react, like, because
so like how would you, like, that's another fear, is like, oh my God, this has a slim chance of possibly happening if that's true, like heaven and hell and shit and all that really exists, don't know. But somebody could have the Antichrist baby. Like, what the fuck would they do then? That's a real fear. And another real fear about this is you have to kill a child. Do you think
kill.
What would you do? Do you think that
wouldn't.
if one of your children were the Antichrist and you could kill that?
Nope. I
Child?
couldn't kill one of my kids. There's been times where I've thought this before, and I do the thing where I'll go in the room with the knife, like Gregory Peck did, and I don't do it, but I think it's partly my fault. I think I'm not pure, so I think just chip off the old block, if you will. So I couldn't do it myself, but let's be honest, Mark, that's what made it freaky too, because you got to kill your fucking kid.
Yeah.
That's like that hits people on a whole different note. Like, not like, hey, you got to kill this other kid. Hey, man, you're fighting in Vietnam and a kid comes at you with an AK. What are you going to do? It's not that situation. This is your kid.
Right. Well, it might make it a little bit easier because it's an adopted child, but that still isn't going to help much at all.
Yeah, I mean, they raised that little motherfucker till he was like 4 or 5.
Right. Yeah.
So you are right. So this lady jumps out. So what happens is there's this babysitter, his little fucking nanny. She's at this birthday party, and there's some really great music and scores in this, very 70s, and there's like this little trippy kind of music that comes on, and this babysitter just starts staring at this Rottweiler, almost in a trance, okay? And then 2 minutes later, I'm going to say this bitch because I don't call women bitches, but she's a bitch because she's scary, and it's like, you know what I mean? So this bitch is up top of here, on top of this house.
I say...
Oh, you say the B word?
Yeah.
That's okay. Well, I have daughters, so it's like weird. I don't like let it fly as much.
But it's cool. I mean that in a good way. When I say bitch, I mean beautiful, intelligent. Fuck, what's T stand for? I forget.
What?
Tremendous, courageous, honorable.
Well, and it's not fair of me to assume that certain girls don't like to be called that, because I hear certain girls call themselves bitch all the time. So,
oh yeah.
So whatever. But anyways, this hooer is on the top of the
Hooah.
on top
This
of this
whore is on my roof.
This lady.
She's on top of this fucking roof, and she looks down and she says, "It's all for you, Damien. It's all for you." And she jumps off, hangs herself right in front of us. I mean, all these kids and shit. Everybody starts freaking out. Super freaky.
And then you know what's even more eerie is everybody, like, it's intense. Like, for the 70s, this is pretty real looking. Like, the dummy they used is really good. But it comes down to, like, smash the window, like, and all the kids are screaming and all that stuff. And then another freaky part is it's realistic, too, because after they're all done screaming, they all stare while she's just floating there in shock.
Yeah.
Dude, that scene fucked with a whole ton of people. It's still eerie to this day.
You think that shit's fucked, though, and you think it's really fucked when she does that, but then it just goes a step worse, right? So this, like, new nanny comes in, and, like, you find out that the dad or the mom didn't call for a new nanny. But this bitch, she's really a bitch. This fucking lady comes in and says, "Oh, I was sent by the agency. We heard about your old nanny, so they sent me." And this lady, I swear to you, I'm not afraid of many people. I mean, this lady's dead now, so rest in peace. She's she was a great actress, but holy shit, her name is Billy Whitelaw, not White Claw, Whitelaw. Okay, and I guess she was like a
Whitelaw.
She was like a pinup girl back in the day, but I don't know how, because this lady is so scary. She comes in like, "Can I see a boy?" And they're like, "Who sent you?"
I see the child now.
Dude, this lady, I'm telling you, she
instantly creepy. And they did a good job with that casting because as soon as she walks in, if you've never seen it, you can tell right when she walks in, like, this bitch ain't right.
Nah, dog. She's, like, seriously, she's nightmare fuel. She is not cool at all.
Creepy.
She gets alone with this little boy. She gets alone with him in there, in his room, and she's like, "Don't worry, I'm here to protect thee." And then there was, like, that intense, like, Omen music. Yeah. Seriously, the score to this is intense. There's like a choir to it. It's intense.
The church choir. Church music has always been creepy to me, even when it's like the organ, that old school organ.
Yeah.
You know, the one that's always in every church that nobody ever plays. It's just up there.
Sounds like the Undertaker's about to come out and shit.
It does.
Mm-hmm. That was, when the lights went black and the Undertaker was coming out.
Undertaker.
You remember My dude Joe and I always crack up about this, but do you remember Paul Bear that would come out with The Undertaker and Kane?
Yeah.
Listen, The Undertaker. Bro, look up some old clips from him. Paul Bear from the WWF. And it was really funny. He was like somebody's grandpa. He just loved wrestling and loved kids and like, you know what I mean? But,
yeah.
Oh, bro.
What a dream job for retirement. You know, he's probably retired.
Mankind won't kill me. he fucking talk like that for that long without laughing. That's the part that gets me. But
Imagine Paul Bear and Gregory Peck in a room together.
hello.
I need you to relax.
So I hear you are Mr. Paul Bear. Is that right?
I understand you have an arrangement with The Undertaker.
I love Gregory Peck. I so wish, I'm telling you, I want his voice on a GPS.
How big is Gregory Peck's dick? How big is his dick?
Perfect.
He's got a good 18-inch dick.
No,
Gregory
he doesn't.
Peck. Yes, he does, dude.
No, he doesn't. Gregory Peck has the perfect size penis. Not too big, not too small. The perfect ideal size for a woman.
So you went really romantic on
Yes,
it. He's
I did.
really the lady's wet dream.
Oh, yeah.
He's not like coming
Did you see
to
the way he hugged Penny? Okay.
What I've been trying to ask you, Ozark Mark, is what do you think his cologne is? Do you think it's a leather? It's a strong leather. I bet you he smells like a barber shop from the 40s.
No, it's
Everywhere
a can
he
of buy
goes.
for men.
It's some musk, good musk going on.
He probably smells like a brand new pair of shoes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good smell.
He's just a good role model.
Sure.
Perfect role for this. I feel bad for the guy. His fucking son died, but no biggie. You still killed the role. Now here's another weird little fucking tidbit though. We were briefly talking about in the 70s, I mean in the 60s, whatever, 70s, you started to have some demonic movies coming out, all right? So you got The Exorcist that came out, and the person who voiced Regan, Mercedes Mc something, I forget the old actress, Mercedes McBride, I think is her fucking name. Anyways, this lady, her fucking son, you know, and I don't mean to, I feel bad about it, but I'm just putting it in the air because I'm a horror fan. But her son, who was also a grown man, ended up like stealing a bunch of her money and then like killing his family and then killing himself. Like, what the fuck? And then Gregory Peck's doing the Omen. I mean, his son died before the fucking movie, but it's like, it's just weird shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's just strange when you lay it out there and you look at it like, I don't know, man. That's really unfortunate. And, you know, I don't want to be rude or disrespectful, but it's been many, many years. It's just strange to that maybe there's just, you know, you could look at that. That's obviously a little speculative.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you think, for sure. And you showed me something. I think it was called.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him about that.
It was it was Cursed Films. I think it was on Shudder.
Oh yeah.
Basically, what this is, is it's a documentary about alleged cursed films, and there's a handful of them. One of them is The Omen, which we're talking about.
Wait, it's
right
not
now.
Omen?
The Omen, dickhead. Listen to me.
Well, this is news to me.
News to me. Anyway, so they were talking about this cursed film, and there was a lot of fucked up coincidences that were pretty fucked up. That's the only way to explain it. Now, I took the liberty here as your favorite producer in the world, Mr. Ozark Mark. I did the work for you. It's a half-an-hour documentary. It's on Shudder. It's called Cursed Films. If you want to watch it, go ahead. But I wrote down the interesting parts, which are in like the first 4 minutes of it.
That's why you sexy as fuck, boy.
Yes. So I wrote it down here, okay? And, shit. You know what I did?
You wrote it in a quill?
No, I totally fucked up. You know how you got red lights everywhere in here?
Yeah.
I wrote it in red ink.
Oh, no.
I can't see it. Hold on a second.
It's blood.
All right, I got it.
It's
okay.
blood.
So we'll just jump right into it because I think these are the main reasons why people think this is a cursed film, okay? But this shit is fucked up. So
a nurse film?
They had a religious advisor on the set, okay? His name was Robert Monger.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he basically told them, he's like, yo, if you're dealing with the devil, you know, you're inviting him in and then bad things will happen to you. And then all the the producers and all that stuff making the film, they're like, yeah, whatever. one in ear out the other, they say, right? So and then he comes back again. He's like, the devil's trick is to make you think he's invisible. The film is going to make him visible. That's why the devil didn't want the movie to be made. Now
That's an interesting concept, though, man. That is
it
really
is. Think
deep.
about it.
Yeah.
But just remember those words, because then all this fucked up shit's starting to happen. So the first thing that happens is our boy Gregory Peck, right? His plane got struck by lightning on his way to England. Gets struck by lightning. Okay. Now,
Not cool.
it's not cool. It's happened many times. It's not the first time it's happened. Okay. So like, all right, that's a little weird. But then 3 days later, one of the writers, I think his name was like David Seltzer or something, his plane gets struck by lightning.
That's strange, boy. That's strange.
So within 3 days, 2 of the people who are involved with this movie have their plane struck by lightning.
Dude, what's that feel like? Being in a fucking plane struck by... I would shit my pants
I would
and
imagine
die.
it would be one of the scariest things ever.
You know what freaks me out in a plane, though, is because I'm not in a cockpit. Like, if I'm in have you ever been a passenger in a car and you start to get weirded out because people are driving and you're like, man, I just want to be in the driver's seat because you're making me uncomfortable. I feel that same way in planes. Like, I just want to be in the cockpit. Like, I'm not, like, nervous of planes, but if some shit went down, you would feel so vulnerable because you just can't do shit.
Oh, dude. No.
You're just back there.
You are fucked in the air. That's a real fear, sir.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
That's
yeah.
a real fear.
It's just
But-
like, if we're going to die, put me in the cockpit so I can at least see what's coming and then,
Yeah, but luckily for us, it's 2021. Planes are a lot more advanced and safe than they were back in the 70s, I imagine.
Yes,
So they could probably handle a couple strikes of lightning. But,
When there's
so,
lightning.
those are kind of coincidental, and they're like, all right, that's kind of, weird. But then, Gregory Peck has another flight to go on, of course, but he canceled that one for some reason, don't know why. Turns out that plane that he was supposed to be on crashed, and everybody died on board.
Some Final Destination shit,
Yes.
boy.
Now, it doesn't stop there. It gets even more fucked up. That very plane, so what happened was the plane took off. It hit a flock of birds. And then it crashes at the end of the runway, towards the end of the runway into a road. And then it wrecks into a car, killing the people in the station wagon. It was a station wagon.
So it crashed into a car? The plane
Yes.
did?
The plane did. So the plane already killed everybody on board.
Yep.
And then now it kills a family in a station wagon. It gets even worse. The people in the station wagon are the mother and 2 children of the pilot.
Do
of
we
that
know
plane.
that this wasn't intentional? He's not like, this motherfucker, she gives me one more goddamn...
Well, I was thinking about that. So you have that crazy scenario where he's like, fuck this, I'm going to kill my wife and kids and everybody on this plane.
Now that's some shit, boy.
That is some heavy shit. I don't know what happened there. But it says it hit a flock of birds. So it's like, okay, well, remember that movie Sully where he lands the plane in the Hudson River?
Yes.
They hit a flock of birds, but they still...
Well, they had Tom Hanks on their plane, man.
Right.
You have Tom Hanks on your plane, you're going to land that bitch.
But I'm like, a flock of birds will take out a plane? Like, how big was his plane?
It's common, bro. Like, not common that it happens all the time, but that's how a lot of them motherfuckers go down, dude. The birds just go in the engine and fuck that thing up, but they go in all of them.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what happened with Sully. Like, they just fucked both engines.
No, I think they only fucked one engine. Well,
No,
they
they
fucked
got
both
both,
engine,
yeah.
but he had one engine for a while. I think that's what kept him going, maybe.
Dude, that's some shit.
anyway,
I
that's
love
some
Tom Hanks.
Fuck, yeah. But
Fuck
isn't
the
that
QAnon
fucked
people
up?
for trying to say he was a pedophile. Fuck that. I
I
love
know.
Tom Hanks. He's my boy.
What a bunch of assholes. But how fucked up is that?
That is super.
That's crazy.
Super
That's
crazy.
very okay. Now it's getting very crazy, fucked up, crazy coincidental now.
Like, that sounds like it was written in a story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that sounds like a TV show that keeps you like
and these are like, the kind of deaths that are in the movie. Just natural things like fucking freak accidents, right? So it doesn't stop there. So apparently the IRA, I have no clue what that is, but they were very active in London during that time. I guess they were terrorists or something, or I don't know what the fuck they were. But they called it IRA. You can look that up. I don't know what the hell it is.
Iranian people.
Oh, okay. Well, the Iranian people at that time were heavy in London. So they were staying at a hotel, and a bomb goes off a block away from their hotel.
Boom.
Boom. Exactly. So you're like, that's kind of weird. But then the place that they blew up was the restaurant that they were scheduled to go be at.
What?
Yeah. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
Actually, no, it's not. It's not Iranian. I just did the Google search. I just knew.
You racist son of a bitch.
I'm not racist.
You were pretty
Climates were not great with Iran in the United States in the 70s and 80s, so that's why I assumed that.
Well, it was a good educated
bro,
guess.
this is my people. This is the Irish Republican Army.
Oh, okay, that's all right then. That's white people doing it. White Irish people.
They were really poor.
A bunch
at
of
that
pissed
time.
off redheads blowing up pubs. They blew up pubs. What are you doing? That's like your favorite place. That's my favorite place.
Yeah, what's going on with it? No, they were in really bad. They were in a bad way. Ireland was for a while, which is crazy to think. There was like ghettos and shit. Like there was like gangs and shit. I don't know. Just a wild thing to imagine.
Right. So you got that going on. So then now there's a scene in this motion picture where they go to a safari park. You know, where you drive your car through a zoo and shit like that. One of those places. So at the safari park, one of the park handlers, animal handlers, gets killed. How
From
did
an
he get
animal?
killed, you guess? Oh, yeah. He got eaten by a lion.
Oh.
What? And apparently, I don't know, they didn't really confirm it, but the alleged story is that he left his like chambers open or something, and the lions came in and they fucking ate him.
Idiot!
I know. That's like rule number 1.
It's a lion, stupid.
So that's kind of crazy too that this weird shit is happening around them. Kinda.
Yeah.
So, but the most fucked up thing of it all was the most weirdest coincidental thing out of all of them, I think, is this last one that they talked about. So, after they were done filming it, their special direct supervisor, I think his name was John Richardson.
John Richardson.
John Richardson, the special effects supervisor.
I know him.
I know that guy. So he gets into a car wreck with his fiance. Okay, his fiance gets decapitated.
Jesus.
So I was like, what do you mean by decapitated? Like, how did you get decapitated, right? So then they said they compared it to one of the kills in the movie, which is when
The photographer, he gets his head sliced off.
He gets his head sliced off by a big piece of glass, like clear off. Like, it's almost comical in some way.
Glassed your ass.
Yeah. Straight slice his head off. Apparently, his fiance got her head chopped off in this car wreck.
That's not a good
Oh
thing.
my God, that's fucking freaky. Not only is freaky, is it was right next to a sign that said Omen. It's spelled Ommen, and it was 66.6 kilometers written on it.
Well, at least you gave him head before he went. Went out. That's
Probably
awful
why you
nice
got
of him.
decapitated. But
Oh,
fuck,
yeah, I mean, you got a
dude.
couple minutes with that head there
Listen,
before anybody gets there.
it's still warm.
Oh yeah.
But that is
You could just
fucked
debate the
up,
fact that we were,
dude.
this is my wife.
Now, I'm not a very religious person or anything, but all those coincidences like that,
Yeah, that's wild.
they begin to make you think a little bit about something's fucked up here.
Yeah, that's really wild, man. Mm-hmm. That's just, it gets to a point where it gets more than coincidence. That's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good research. I like what you did there.
Yeah, and then apparently in that documentary as well is there's a male witch, which I didn't know males could be witches. His lower third said witch.
I thought they
I
were
was in
wizards.
and I am a witch.
I thought they were wizards.
I thought they were wizards too. I've never seen a male witch.
Hey, for all of our Wiccan listeners, to my witches and wizards and Gryffindors, whatever the fuck you are, I need you guys to write in and let me know.
If there's such thing as a male witch, because I've never heard of that. I thought
Yeah.
they were called wizards.
I'm not being
Or,
satirical or funny either. I want to know the ins and outs because I definitely did. I mean, I'm into the horse shit. I like all kinds of freaky shit. I like all kinds of cool shit. But at the same time, I ain't never heard of a male witch.
No, I've never heard of male witch either.
Nah, they're wizards, dog.
That's what I thought, man.
They're wizards.
Yeah.
Why didn't they put wizard? Well,
Because
maybe
he ain't a
maybe
wizard.
that sounds too Ku Klux Klan-y.
I don't know. Maybe he identifies as a
Fucking
witch.
Ku Klux Klan. Why the KKK have to take the wizard? Wizard. They would take some cornball at. We're the wizards. Wizards? The fuck are you talking about? Why can't you just be lieutenant or corporal? No, I've said wizards. Man, that's a bold title. Excuse me, wizard.
Excuse me, Mr. Wizard.
Wizard Marcus.
Yeah.
Okay, you could roll with it. That's cool. So that is kind of a weird fact. I didn't know. I don't know. I do want to know more about that shit, though. Because I have met people that say they're witches and they're like cool people.
Sure.
Cool chicks, like they're just regular, normal people.
Yeah.
And they kind of do their shit. I don't know. Maybe they drink their teas and do their potpourris, have cats. It seems lonely. I don't know exactly what's all involved, but it's, that's their thing. I like that. I'm very introverted, so I can dig that. I'm kind of a loud introvert once you get to know me, but I like my house. It's got all my stuff here, and I like to do all the things I do here, like nothing. And it's fun, man. It's fun. When you go outside, there's too much stuff out there going on, too many people's opinions, and too much stuff moving around. It better be pretty exciting if you're going to get me out of this house, aside from work. Until one day where you guys just let this be my only work, and I can just live in my house forever. And that's all I have to do. Now that would be fun, wouldn't it? The only time you go out is to the movies or on vacation.
Picture show.
I brought my wife to a picture show.
I can't stop talking like him. I really need to stop.
It's hard, man. It's really hard.
It really is hard. So
I'm
let
drinking
me
this
ask you,
Kentucky Mule over here. It's pretty good, Mark.
Well, let me ask you this. You watched the original one, which is the one we're talking about recently, correct?
Yeah.
Now, I'm curious. I always like to ask you this. What is your favorite scene or part of The Omen?
So let's see here. What's my favorite scene and what's my favorite part?
Well, it's one question. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
Depends on how you say it here.
I know. I'm thinking here. I'm thinking about it. I definitely do like the hanging scene. That's very abrupt. Just not something that you're expecting.
Dude, that thing is out of nowhere.
Very capricious. It's just, I don't know. It's just strange. It's just, there's no build up. It's just kind of abrupt. Mm-hmm. I do like that a lot. Let's think here. I'm trying to think of almost the comedic element because I do love.
I have one because you always know that I find one in every movie.
You do find something that's funny. Although
yes, I do. Can I tell you about it?
Yeah, real quick. I'm going to tell you my favorite.
All right, go ahead.
Because you have asked.
Go ahead and interrupt me, you asshole. Go ahead.
You asked me a question.
I know.
And
then
I'm
you take
interrupting
forever.
you.
You take forever to answer it.
Look, Ozark Mark.
Yes.
All you've been doing is talking. I'm trying to help you out here.
Don't.
Okay?
Who are you talking to when you say that? Shut
Look, Ozark Mark.
Look,
the
what is
producer.
it? Tell me it, please. Please go.
What I'm telling you is
Yes.
there is a giant pole that is thrusted through a man. Okay? And this man could have easily dodge this. He sees it get loose when it's falling from the top, and he has.
But he does that classic horror where he's like, like you can't move, you're frozen in fear. Like, bitch, step to the left.
This man had an easy 6 seconds.
Oh yeah.
To move out of the way of this falling javelin to his torso, and he just takes it.
Oh yeah, he does.
He just takes it.
Straight through his shoulder, through his back, and just pins him there like a statue.
It's the worst looking. Oh, it's horrible.
Oh.
And he just takes it.
Yeah.
So that's probably my favorite.
Have you ever looked at a church steeple the same way like that after you see that?
No.
I'm very scared of them now because that did not look like a pleasant death. Getting pierced by a giant. It's either that, I either look at a church and I see that, or I think of Assassin's Creed and I want to climb it.
Ozark Mark, what's your... Yeah, I agree with that Assassin's Creed comment a lot. I see that shit all the time.
Oh, yeah. You ever look at a church be like, I see how he could scale that. I can't do it.
Oh,
I just
no.
know how a trained assassin from the descendant of Altair can climb that.
Ozark Mark and I were watching this shit where these assholes were climbing on top of these skyscrapers.
Oh, yeah.
Doing this parkour shit.
A bunch of fucking turds. What? I was saying that the whole time too. I'm like, these people are assholes.
Oh my goodness, it made my palms sweaty. That's where I found it, was on the Sweaty Palm subreddit.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers are like hopping on top of skyscraper, just doing shit that makes your stomach turn. I don't care if you're afraid of heights or not. It's just horrible. Fuck these people.
Dude,
I hope they fall.
You will watch it and you will get pissed off at these people and you don't know who these people are. Like, why? One of them is going to fall and die.
I hope when one of them falls, they fall in a way where they wreck the bottom half of their body and manage to survive just for like a couple minutes. Just to soak it in, like, yes, I'm stupid as shit.
Yes.
This was not a good move.
Oh, dude, it will piss you off when you watch it. I'm telling you.
It pisses me off. Mm-hmm.
So, all right, the staple through the priest, okay.
What's yours?
I'll tell you mine. Now, if you don't get it initially, I'll explain to you why it's my favorite part, but I want you to see if you can kind of pick up on it, okay? So, it's the scenes where Gregory and the photographer are on the hunt to figure out where the child came from, right?
Yeah.
So they find their way back to the hospital where he got the baby initially. They find out that it's burnt down, or there was a fire there shortly after they left. I guess it was like a year or something, and everything burnt down.
It's gone.
So he finds this nurse, and it's like for a minute straight, okay? He's trying to ask this nurse questions, and she just shoot him down constantly. Like, they're getting nowhere. Well, there has to be some kind of records. No records. Everything burnt down. Like, she's getting pissed off and irritated with him. Just keep shutting him down. No connection, right? So then Gregory asks her, is like, well, there should have been some survivors of the fire. And then she's like, see, yes, survivors, or whatever she said. Like, she agreed. So now they're finally getting on a subject here. And then they just keep building up with each other, right? They just keep going. It's like, well, it was a tall man, dark hair, and he had black eyes. Yeah, see, I remember that. He's like, is he still a priest? Yeah. Is he still alive? Yes, he's still alive. They're like building it up. And then he asks her, he's like, is he still here? No.
No.
She just goes just from up to here to way back right down where she started. Just no.
Damn it, woman.
And why is that so funny, you ask? Well, I'll tell you why. Is because I instantly thought of that Spanish maid from Family Guy. The one who says, no, Superman not here.
We do not have no more lemon pledge.
So he's still here. No. Just out of nowhere. And I died laughing. Not to mention, I don't know what kind of elevators they had in there. You remember those elevators? Did you notice
dog. That shit was weird.
It's like a never-ending elevator. You just, like, wait 2 floors, and then you just step on, and then you're on a railing, and you say goodbye. Like, why do we not have those elevators here? Probably because people are stupid here, and they'll fucking die on them.
We're not cool enough to have them.
I don't think so.
We're just not cool enough to have those kind of elevators.
I like an escalator better than an elevator.
You ever see old dogs in movies and think, man, that dog's been dead a long time? That dog that was in this movie died before we were born.
I never thought of that before. No, that's never crossed my
Isn't that
mind.
weird though? Like sometimes, because the animals don't have a long lifespan, and I'm sure these animals in films, for the most part, the bigger animals like an elephant or something, I don't know, but yeah, like if you're a dog in a movie, chances are you have a pretty fucking pampered life.
Sure.
So this fucking Rottweiler in this movie, 1976. Let's just say he's 2, and let's just say he lived 12 years. You know what I'm saying? Like he still died probably a year before I was born. Like that's just funny as shit to me when I see old animals in movies. Even like you watch them from the 90s, and you're like, yep, that dog's gone. That dog from that movie that I love, he's dead. Homeward Bound, all those animals are dead as fuck.
Ah, fuck, they are.
Beethoven, he's gone, bro.
That's sad.
I know.
You're really bringing the mood down here.
I'm sorry, bro. Let's bring the mood up, okay? So Gregory Peck's son died.
Don't make me laugh at that.
You're a bad person.
And I am a bad person. I'm a horrible person. Stop it.
No, but for real. I think the main thing that I really want to hammer out about this picture is the fact that If you go in, it's a director that just takes it very serious, you know. And this director is the one that did The Goonies. He did all kind of shit. So I had to burp again. I'm sorry. Richard Donner is the director in this. He did a lot. I mean, The Lethal Weapon. Did a decent amount of movies that were known, especially in this time frame. But like I said before, some of these directors, even Stanley Kubrick with The Shining, he wasn't a horror director. That wasn't his forte, but he stepped out. And then some of these other directors, and, you know, other directors see this and they say, oh, that's cool. It's not just a cheap drive-in movie to make a horror movie. You can make a scary movie be a serious picture. Mm-hmm. And I really like that. And
yeah, it's a good change from the usual what you're used to when you think of a horror movie.
Yeah, and especially if you're this far into the podcast, I would assume that you're a fan of fucking movies, okay? So, that being said, I don't know your opinions on old movies, but I love old movies. I really do, and this one's just fun to watch. It's just neat. It's just neat to see how people talk, the old times, great actors. Mm-hmm. One thing great about old movies, you're not heavily reliant on CGI and special cuts and sceneries, and I think sometimes you can lose a lot of character development with scenery shots and things of that nature. And old acting, you have actors, actresses, and they're really selling it. They're really selling it. Gregory Peck, I mean, we've said his name a million times, but he's not a horror actor. It's not like he's Vincent Price or fucking Robert Englund. This is a serious actor, a well-decorated, awarded actor who said, yep, I'll do this picture. Okay, and that kind of sells it, man. That gives you an authenticity that you wouldn't get. When you see any kind of all-star lineup, I don't care if it's a basketball team, a baseball team, or a horror movie, it's for the fans. Like, if there's a horror movie coming out, it's like, oh, it's got Kane Hodder, Robert Englund, you know, and Doug Bradley, and then it's got Brad Dourif. It's got every horror person you can ever think of. That's for the fans. Mm-hmm. An everyday viewer is not going to watch that movie. And as somebody who's not a fan of horror, The Omen can easily slip into your lap. This is, I don't know how people watch movies anymore, but back when we had cable, the weekends were kind of a big deal. And for me, Sunday movies were kind of a big deal. They'd have like these movie matinees and shit on channel, you know, like the WB and shit, or Fox 19, or like, you know, the Fox channel or whatever. And they would play old movies, and even like movies like Misery, and some of these movies are just like Sunday movies to me. This is a great Sunday movie. It's I don't know, that might be very personal to myself, but it's rich. It's a rich movie. Great character development, great acting. It's not hard on your eyes. It's not too overstimulating. It's real people, real shots. And I kind of miss that. I'm not saying like the new Batman movies aren't sweet, but sometimes they're a little much, you know, or like, you know, you watch a superhero flick, there's a lot of moving, there's a lot of scenery, and it's neat to watch. I'm not saying it's bad, but sometimes I just want to watch some acting. I just want to watch people fucking acting, selling a scene. Don't give me any props. Don't give me any CGI or none of that scary shit. Give me somebody selling their heart. So many people like movies, but they're like, oh, I wouldn't, or acting. Well, that's stupid. You know, no, man, that's a talent. When somebody can make you believe something, if you walk into the room and your wife is crying over a movie, picture that. That's not a real thing going on. These people are acting somewhere, and it's art, man. They had the ability to make you cry and believe the situation. That's pretty cool, man. And I think that's kind of lacking in movies these days. I'm not saying it's not out there. There's definitely good movies, but they just didn't really have a choice back in those days. You didn't have you're a producer, Mark. You know how it is. I wish those people would kind of step back a little. Like, instead of like, hey, we're going to spend $100,000 on the sweet pan-out drone shot of the city, save some of that money and put it into a better actor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because, I mean, you get lost in the characters.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they sell it very well.
Oh, I love that. And I just love hearing how those old theater actors interact. They just portrayed it very different. Not over-animated, but just slightly.
Yeah.
How dare you? I can't
Don't
believe you.
stop. I'm trying to stop talking like him. I can't stop talking like Gregory Peck.
So, what do you think? Is there a time where you feel like you could let me know things about you, what you know? Because there is a time where I feel like I can let you know things. Okay? And I think it's right now.
Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Welcome to the What Do You Know here. We're here to tell you
A couple things
you may or may not know about this movie. Here we go. Let's see here. What do we know?
Wait, would
here?
you say something as a... Hold on.
What?
This movie's called The Omen, right?
Yeah, it's called The Omen. Oh, yeah, that's right. Check this out, right? Check this out. I got this fact here. All right, so this movie right here, this motion picture, this film, this piece of art, had two different names other than The Omen. It wasn't originally called The Omen. Okay?
What do you mean here?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I mean here. It was either going to be called The Birthmark.
The birthmark?
Yeah, The Birthmark.
The birth Ozark
Yeah, that's kind of
mark?
stupid. That don't. It's too literal. Don't work. And then you have the Antichrist.
Okay, that would
That's
work.
that might work, but it's way too literal. Don't work. So it could have been called the Birthmark or the Antichrist, but they went with the Omen, and I think the Omen was the best choice.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's what I know here. What do you know here?
Okay, so I got a couple little things. So, you want to hear what's fucking weird?
That's fucking weird.
So this is kind of a two-part fact here. So the little boy who played Damien, the scary...
Dude, that kid is creepy as fuck, by the way.
He is.
He's like normally creepy. He's not over the top creepy. He's just like a creepy ass kid. Like they did a good job on picking this kid because you know there's some kids in the world you look at them and you just want to slap the shit out of them. Like I automatically look at this kid and I look at that kid and I say I don't like that fucking kid. There's something
beat
wrong
the
with
shit
that.
out of you,
There's
kid.
something wrong with this little fucking raisin here.
Yeah, there's something wrong with this little boy. But let me tell you, well, maybe you kind of help answer this a little bit. So,
Okay, do go on, please.
So Harvey Stevens is the name of the actor who played that little boy. And when they were in the selection process of picking of what little boy they wanted to pick for the movie, apparently this little boy, they told him, you know, they're acting, and they said, all right, now we want you to attack me. Come attack me. And they wanted to see, I guess, how he would look in a scene like that. So the little boy came up and punched the director in the nuts, and he says, all right, you're hired. But the thing is, this Harvey Stevens, this little boy had blonde hair. They just liked the boy so much that they decided to dye his hair black and straighten it. You can't do that nowadays, can you?
His hair
Take a
wasn't.
full-
No, his hair was like brown or something in this movie.
No, they
It wasn't
dyed it.
black.
His hair's fucking black. If you
No,
look
his
at it.
hair was black in the remake, not the original, right?
Yeah, no, it's brown. It's a dark. I mean, it's a really dark brown or black. It's they
Yeah, I
said they
think it's
dyed
a
it
dark
black.
brown. I think it's the dark brown.
Well, it was blonde originally.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, because it definitely was not blonde. I'll
no,
tell you
it
that
was
right
not. So isn't that kind of strange that they would do that to a 4-year-old? Dye his fucking hair.
What's the problem? It's not a big problem here.
Well, it's not a big deal. The kid doesn't have no problems. He still sees with his eyes, don't he? Look at you over there. You got eyes in your head. You don't see nothing. He's just a boy. He wants to change his hair color. No big deal.
No big.
You know, I don't
salutes.
have no kind of judgment. My cousin Jerry, he used to go out on the weekends and he would tuck his patoo and he would do some dances and then, you know, we never judged him at all. It wasn't my problem. I didn't mind. You know, Jerry was a nice guy.
But did he dye his hair though?
Oh, no, you should see this guy. He worked on fucking windows. He would wear wigs, but he'd work on windows too. So in the weeks, he would work on windows, and then in the weekends, he would tuck his ween, and then he would go out do dances. He made good money. Jerry, he died. He died back in '94. I like Jerry. Okay? So if
Yeah,
you
he
want
was. He was a good egg.
yeah, if you want to change, you know, what you want to do, no big deal. You know, that's just what I know. But
That's
here,
cool. What else you know here?
so there's a couple other things that, you know, you were talking a little bit earlier, and this is what I do know. You said something about baboons.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
the
but
monkeys with the huge red asses. Yeah, baboons.
So there's, in this movie, what they do is they pull into this little, it's like a drive-through safari. And why people do that shit, I don't fucking know. They're wild animals. What are you fucking doing? Even if you got them in containment, though, it's a fucking giraffe. If he wants to move your car, all he has to do is flip it. The neck on these things, Mark, you should see them. It's incredible. It's incredible. These
It would really
things.
suck for a giraffe to have a sore throat.
It would.
Oh,
Have you
man.
ever seen them things fight? They go boom, boom with their necks. It's a big thing. The big one will take out the little one.
Yeah, they're all over the map with them things there.
So they go to the zoo anyways. So they go to the zoo.
Yeah, they're in the zoo.
They're driving through.
Yeah.
That shit was real. So what they did was they took a baby baboon, and they put it in the car with that lady. Okay? And then they put food all around the fucking car. So all these baboons start fucking attacking the car. And they say that they got the little baby inside there. So they start, ah! So that lady was inside really freaking out. That wasn't fake.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot of times where there's a supportment of a movement, and I don't agree, not that I don't agree with it, but usually I don't agree with the mouthpiece of it. So, the whole Me Too movement came out, and I totally agree with that. The ladies should be treated right in pictures, I guess but they, it was more sexual what these ladies were talking about. But as a horror fan, I look back, you get all kinds of crazy shit, like Shelley Duvall in The Shining. Stanley Kubrick, he really fucked with her. It was back in, come on, don't be a dumb broad, get really fucked with the shit you couldn't do now. And you could tell in the fucking movie. Could you picture taking who's a big actress now? Who's an actress you see on the pictures? Who you see?
Jennifer Aniston.
Okay. You think Jennifer Aniston.
Or Jackie from That 70s Show, whatever her name is.
You're showing your age here, Mark, and that's okay. I'm showing mine too.
I don't know her name.
These shows are 20, 30 years old. Not a big deal.
Okay, whatever, yeah.
Not a big deal.
Where
Not
are
a
you
big
going
deal.
with this here?
So you put Jennifer Aniston. You think you could put her in a car with a baby baboon and have real baboons attack her car? And you're not going to...
You mean put her in there with a baby baboon?
Baby fucking baboon. He's in there.
That's a lot of red asses.
Oh,
all
the
over that
little
car.
fucking thing's probably in there squeaking up and he's screaming, so...
I always wondered how they did that, though. How did they got the baboons to attack the car? Because it's real. These ain't fake baboons here. These are real giant
baboons.
red-assed baboons.
It's actually pretty scary. I hope you guys watch that scene. Just YouTube that scene real quick.
It is pretty fucking weird.
And just know that actually happened. So, those are some of the facts I know about the Omen.
Well, there you go. Boom. As you would say, boom.
Boom! Well, there it was, Mark. Those were some interesting facts.
It's like this movie never ends about intelligent things or something here.
Yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff that we know, and we're happy that you motherfuckers can come bullshit with us about movies. Especially scary movies. Not even being corny. It's the thing that keeps my life going. It's the thing that makes my life complete aside from my family. But like me...
That was a good save there.
No, well, I think everyone should have that because it's your family, and you should love your family. But what does your family love you for? What are you? You're not your family. You know what I mean? So you have to be something of passion. You ever meet somebody that doesn't have passion with something? They just, I don't know. Just like, come on, man. You have to like something. Give me, what are you like, Formula One racing? Give me anything you like, and I will try to bullshit or at least look up a fact or two to try to spark a conversation with you. What kind of music you listen to? I don't really know. I don't really listen to anything. Seen any good movies lately? No, I'm not. I don't really watch many movies. What do you do? What is it you do? Are you passionate about anything? Do you beat off the horror movies? Well, I don't. But even if you did, that's okay. Find something to beat off to in life. And that's what we're doing here. And we appreciate that you guys are here with us.
Okay. So you did that thing, which you usually do if you haven't noticed. Christian Ramey goes off on tangents and he never shuts the fuck up. So all I got out of that is like, we're finding something to beat off to. Is that what I heard you say?
No. what I'm telling you.
Okay, sum it up for
If you've made it,
give me whatever you just ranted about.
so
in
we
one
got these.
sentence.
I don't know who these people in Colorado are that are listening.
Oh yeah, Colorado.
We're seeing people all across this
They
rock that's floating in space listening to the Sloppy Horror Podcast. So,
They
like
have to
I'm
be
saying, if
stoned
you've
in
made it,
Colorado to listen to this.
or I mean, I most definitely assume you're on drugs of some sort if you're listening, and that's okay. I am too. It's not a big deal.
I support it, man.
It's not a biggie. Not a biggie. So, what I want you to do is to join us more. I want you to give us a little feedback. I want you to tell us, hey, I like this movie. You should do an episode on this. Or maybe a topic. Maybe you got some horror shit you want to dig up. Maybe you got a good guest you want to send our way. Maybe you want to send nudes. All these things are fucking cool with me. You can do that at our email. You know about that, Ozark Mark? Can you tell him?
Sure.
I forgot it.
I forgot it too.
No, he didn't. It's the Sloppy Horror Podcast at Outlook.com. If you have some recommendations.
Outlook.com?
Yeah,
That's
Outlook.
an ancient email.
Well, it came with my Microsoft. I have Windows, Microsoft running.
Do you know of anybody who still has an AOL account?
Yeah, but they've just had it for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, I know people with Yahoo Yahoo accounts. Still.
I still got a Yahoo account.
Nope.
That's the junk email. That's where I have an email where I don't want. You know where you got to put in an email on something stupid and unimportant? Mm-hmm. That's a Yahoo email right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I use my Gmail to be professional.
I got quite a few. So you guys can hit us up there. You know, we're not very active on the Twitter, but you can obviously get a hold of us there. And it's at Horror Sloppy. You can find us there. Let us know how the hell you're feeling. It's the Omen, man. It's all these pillars of horror. We're going to cover every single thing that we can. But it kind of leaves us to, I guess we have to rate this son of a bitch, right?
Oh, yeah. Check this out.
Sloppy horror rating, baby, yeah!
Yeah.
Whoa, what'd you just do there?
What I just did was that's the new jingle I made because I'm a fucking fantastic producer. So this is, I guess, I don't know what we're going to call this.
All that, but I like that.
I would just call this, what do you rate this with Christian Ramey?
Look.
I don't know what it's called. Look, basically is, what is your rating?
The sloppy
horror,
rating.
Sloppy horror rating of this movie, The Omen, 1976.
So let's walk through
Right.
this.
Is that when it was made, 76?
76, you are correct. So let's walk through
1976,
this.
The Omen rating, go Christian Ramey.
So let's walk through this. For you guys unfamiliar with our rating system, we have a few different categories here. So we have 3 categories that are worth 3 points, okay? We have casting, we have kills, and we have fear. And then there's one final category of fucks with it. Do I fucks with it or not? And that's just 1 point, okay? So let's talk about casting. That's huge in a horror movie, any movie really. But in a horror movie, if I can believe these people, even if it's a cheap, campy horror flick, is it a believable character? Is it, even if it's like kind of character acting, does it work? Okay, I think you can tell throughout how we've been talking about this movie that the casting is out of this world. This was casted like it was not The Godfather or something, but this was casted like an Oscar.
This was casted like it was a masterpiece.
Yes, like it was supposed to be a serious movie. This movie, I wish I could give it a 4 out of 3. This movie is a 3 out of 3 on casting, and I really, really mean that. These were people who knew what they were doing. These weren't teen heartthrobs. These were people with long dicks. This is a 3 the fuck out of 3 on casting, okay?
And tight vagina lips.
Yes.
Don't forget about those.
Let's move to the next category.
That's 3 out of 3 for casting. Now we're going on to
the kills. And my kills.
Will you let me say it? Damn it. Now we're. Damn it. Now I gotta
allowed.
restart. Now I gotta get my whole vibe over again. Now we are going to the kills. Christian Ramey, take it away.
So kills. Someone murder themselves. Jump off the top of a building, look very realistic. That's pretty awesome, pretty sweet. We have a pole going through somebody's fucking body, just ripping through. We have someone's head being cut off. We have people falling to their death. Man,
Those are
I
some
wanna
pretty
give this-
creative kills, sir.
I'm going to give this a 2.5 out of 3.
What's it gonna take to get 3?
More of them.
More of them.
More of
There's
them.
only like 4 deaths, maybe.
Yes, and maybe because I'm a child of the slasher, I'm just spoiled with the kills, and I want a large count generally.
Sure.
But I'm going to give this a 2.5 because I do love all of these kills, but the gore was not overkill, which is nice because sometimes you go too over gory, it becomes comedy, but it was so tasteful that it was almost artistic, and which is very nice. I very much like that, but I'm giving it a 2.5, which puts us at a 5.5 altogether.
2.5 stars for the kills. That brings us to 5.5 points so far. Now, if you are still with us, we are going on to Fear.
Okay.
Take it away, Christian Ramey.
So here's our fear. This movie is scary, Mark. This movie is scary. The nanny is scary. You're not expecting the horror. And I don't know, 2021, a new person watching it, a young person, if they're going to be terrified. But for when it came out, to how it holds up.
And I think the reputation of the movie also adds to some of the fear of it when you think about it.
I want to give this a 1.5, Mark. It's just right there. It's halfway.
I think it's kind of more kind of like disturbing at some points than it is maybe scary.
I think if you asked me this in 76, I'd say 2.5. But since it's aged, we will say it's at 1.5. It's just enough to be creepy enough. It does make the wheels turn a little bit. It does get you kind of like, but it's not enough for you to turn on all your lights in your house. So I'm going to 1.5 on that. So what does that bring us?
Well, that would bring us to 7 points out of 10. We have one category left, and that is the category of Do I Fucks With It? So, Christian Ramey, take it away.
hate this goddamn movie. Actually, yes, I do. I like it. I do. So, that's it. Honestly, man, I'm such a slut for scary movies. There's very few that I don't fucks with, especially when we're talking pillars here. So, absolutely, man, this is an 8 out of 10 horror movie. Hands down, 8 out of 10.
That's a very fair score of it, I believe.
Yes, 8 out of 10.
I agree with you there.
And if you don't like this opinion, go fuck yourself. And at the same time, it's only my opinion, so it's not anything but
And if
what
you
we
don't
think.
like our opinion, we'll go fuck ourselves. It's full circle here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
So
Sometimes I like to fuck myself. I
Oh,
do
absolutely.
it. I've done it twice since we've been talking.
I've been masturbating and podcasting at the same time. Yeah, folks, get out there, watch The Omen, do yourself a favor. It's a great weekend movie. It's a great comfy movie. If you, it's a little lengthy. This is a sweatpants movie. This is sweatpants, ice cream. Get comfy with your significant other. Try to keep their private parts out of their mouth, your mouth, I should say, and just watch the movie. Don't do that. Don't do that to The Omen. Don't put it on with your significant other and get carried away. And if you do, press pause or put on some music. Don't skip the movie. Because then you might have that awkward part where you're in it and you look over, it's a strange part, and you both like kind of want to watch, and you kind of are, but like you're trying to be committed. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. It's just or the game's on, whatever's going on. Don't do that with The Omen, okay? No private parts in the mouth, no touching, no weird stuff. Sit on separate couches if you have to, or wait till that time of the month. This is a great time for that movie, okay?
It's a great time of the month movie.
No funny play or malarkey or horseplay. No Netflixing and chilling. You're just omening, all right?
You're just omening.
Yeah, man. Definitely a plus on there. So you guys still better get a hold of us. Everybody's been great. I've been loving all the response that we've been getting, all the listeners. We very much appreciate you guys. And we're going to keep rocking and rolling, man. Next week, you guys are in for a little surprise. I'm not telling you right now. I'm not fucking telling you. Because it's going to be such a big deal. Okay? Are you guys ready for some stuff? This is about to get really big. We're about to get connected a lot bigger here. A lot more platforms. You're going to be able to fucking watch us. And the next week's episode, you're going to be pretty pumped up. It's Ozark Mark. He's been bitching and bitching and bitching to do this episode. So we're going to do it because we both love the movie.
I ain't been bitching about nothing, bitch. See, I could call you a bitch. Is that fine?
Yeah, you can call me a
bitch.
Yes.
I ain't been bitching about nothing.
Yeah, that's fine. He kind of has, though. So the episode that he wants to do,
no, I haven't.
We're gonna do that one. So it's
Christy
big. It's a big deal.
Been bitching way more than I have, guys, about everything else because he doesn't know how to do all this technical stuff very well, like I can. So he's bitching about all this stuff. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna make it great. You shut up and you just clean children's poop off of toilets with bleach, and you worry about your life, and I'll take care of this.
Yeah, he's teasing me because that happened the other day when I was FaceTiming Mark. The child shit all over the toilet. Like, it was a bad disaster. I don't mean to be graphic, but you're listening to a horror movie podcast, so.
But I love hearing about other people's misfortune. Does that make me a bad person?
Oh, no, I had to laugh, too. Fuck, I was laughing at myself. Like, dude, it was a bad situation. But
sorry, I get the same thing because I don't have any kids, obviously, but I have animals.
Yeah,
it's like,
oh yeah.
It's the equivalent to me, like stepping in fresh cat puke in the morning and barefoot. Ugh. Or when they diarrhea and they shit all over the rug. At least it was on a toilet, for the most part, from what I've heard. So
yes,
it's kind of like an easier cleanup. But
that's
a great thing to end the podcast on. Is
yeah, so all you parents out there, you have fun.
Toilet.
In between your wiping asses and wiping noses and feeding kids and giving them fruit snacks and all that shit, watch The Omen or watch it with them. Maybe they'll go to bed. You know, I like to spice it up for my kids. Hey, you better quit fucking around. You better quit fucking around. Oh, you know about Leatherface? You know about Leatherface? You used to have a brother. He's dead now because of Leatherface. Look him up. That's what I tell my kids. Oh, do you want to watch The Shining? Then maybe you should shut the fuck up and do the dishes. They're like, I don't even know what that means, Dad.
And this is Parenting with Christian Ramey.
Yeah. What's up, dog? What's up? You're not even that cool. You ain't smoking cigarettes and shit. I was smoking cigs when I was kids. You want to smoke cigs? Here's a cig. I give them cigs all the time. My kids smoke cigs. They drink. But that's what I do with my kids. You can raise yours how you want. Mine are straight A students that smoke and drink. I got a 4th grader. He gets high. He does meth. It's not a big deal. It's okay. Don't judge me or my fucking life, Mark. You're looking over there with your judging eyes like I'm a bad parent.
You can't even see me.
Look, I'm not a bad parent, okay? Just let them do what they want, okay?
Look, man, all right. I don't know where you're going with this. You're going way out of left field here, all right?
Oh, I'm in left field?
Saying...
Oh, I'm in left field?
Shut up.
Oh, I'm in left field? Look, brother, I'm on the ice, and I'm checking the puck.
Everybody right now is having a flashback at some point in their life, and they've been in a conversation with somebody, and they've said something. You know, I don't even have to explain it. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But anyway, The Omen, watch it. And with that being said...
Let your kids do math.
Just the liquid kind.
Or just the Ritalin, you know, do that. Pump them up with that, because that's actually methamphetamines.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys
We're not
and girls.
leaving. We're not leaving.
Yeah, we are.
We can't go.
Why not?
I'm stuck here.
Why?
I mean, I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Hey.
What?
You guys stick around. Come back next week. This is the Sloppy Horror Podcast.